The 1940s brought great upheaval to Dalat School. After the fall of France during World War II, French Indochina was administered by the French Vichy government. This new government placed missionaries and Dalat students under house arrest in 1943 for 3 months. Later that year, the French colonial regime was overthrown by the Japanese, and the missionaries and students were transferred to a Japanese internment camp in the south until the end of the war 2 years later in 1945. Franklin Irwin, who was a high school student at that time, said classes never stopped. His teacher taught him in the morning, and he taught the younger children himself in the afternoon. After World War II ended, the students returned to the Via Alliance campus in Dalat. However, war and instability continued. The Communist Army fought against the French occupation of the colony. This conflict would continue for 8 years until independence for Vietnam was declared. One Dalat student from the 1940s, Bernard Jackson, discovered that a life calling is pieced together over time, often through hardships. He was born in French Indochina in 1927, the third of 4 sons to the U.S. missionaries Richmond and Hazel Jackson, and grew up during a time when the region was plagued by political instability. At age 6, Bernard began his education at Dalat School, traveling 1,000 miles away from home. It was a painful separation, but eased by Bernard's discovery that Dalat was, in his own words, a loving and excellent school. His dorm parents were his Uncle Herbert and Aunt Lydia Jackson, Bernard's blood-related uncle and aunt, although all the students at Dalat called them Uncle and Auntie. One vivid memory from his education at Dalat involved Uncle Herb teaching anatomy by dissecting a deer. That experience, along with Bernard's observations of a kind French doctor working with local patients, began attracting him toward the healthcare field. In late 1940, Japanese forces began invading the northern part of French Indochina. By the following summer, they expanded to the south, the area where Dalat School was located. Bernard began high school at Dalat that fall, but his parents soon decided to send him to the United States to finish high school. After high school, Bernard joined the U.S. Navy and learned about nursing, operating room technique, working in a medical lab, and pharmaceuticals. That experience led him to his dream job. He became a dentist. For 30 years, Bernard operated a dentist office in Round Rock, Texas, in the U.S., where Bernard touched the lives of all those who entered his dentist chair by providing healing and comfort from their pain. After retiring, Bernard said, "As I look back, it is easy to see how God, always at work, was molding and making me into a man whom He could use. Nothing was wasted." Through many hardships, Dalat students over the years have received loving care from dorm parents and teachers helping them along the way. Dalat students are taught to discover their passions so that they can bring healing and comfort to others. This legacy of perseverance, inspiration, and care is what must carry on.